Okay, so maybe Tesla hasn't had a great service lately. And by maybe, I mean definitely. And by not greatest, I mean pretty crappy. And by lately, I mean like since 2014. And nobody would feel this pain more than I am right now because my car is in the service center right now after like 2 or 3 weeks of back and forth and waiting and stuff like that. And this is like 6th or 7th time, but I'm not gonna involve my feelings, my hurt feelings. I'm just gonna tell you the story because the story is good. Elon Musk is finally acknowledging that, and he says that they're going to work on that. We're gonna talk about that, and also we're gonna talk about a little dispute between Nikola and Tesla. I know it sounds weird, and it is weird. And a few other interesting news. All of this is coming up next.
Taking over the world, electrifying the world, electric.
If this is your first time here and you're watching me on YouTube, welcome. If you're interested in staying up to date on everything that's going on in the world of electric cars, like Nikola suing Tesla, don't hear that every day. Well, you came to the right place. Just go ahead and click on the subscribe button down there so you don't miss anything moving forward. And of course, thank you to those of you Patreons who are watching me live. If you want to join my Patreon community, you get a bunch of different perks and stuff like that. And we also do the extra mile segment after this one, and you get to watch that live as well. So thank you. But let's talk about this news, this tweet. And basically, you know, I think I haven't been I wasn't hiding all this time that you know, I haven't been enjoying Tesla service lately. And since I'm on my 3rd Tesla and they keep breaking down and more and more and more, I wouldn't say more and more, consistently so. It's frustrating, was on top of that, you don't really get good service or good communication. Well, because they're making more of Model 3s right now and just more and more cars, they obviously are even more overwhelmed with their deliveries and service centers and so forth. Now, Elon came out and sent this tweet yesterday, said due to a large increase in vehicle delivery volume in North America, Tesla customers may experience longer response times. Resolving this is our top priority. Does feel like a bit of a BS kind of a polished response, and you know, this is not news really. Maybe news to him, but really their service centers have been overwhelmed for a while now, ever since the Model X came out with all the issues and stuff like that. And after that, they really could never recover. Now, I live in Sacramento now, and still this service center near me in Rockland, it still looks like pretty overwhelmed. Oh, he also actually replied to another customer and who was complaining that there was no communication from the delivery people when that person was trying to get his Model 3, which is actually also a common theme lately. And Elon Musk said, "My apologies, and working on this exact issue right now." Now, it is kind of weird because, like, should the CEO of a company be working on, like, if I'm at McDonald's and my burger is, you know, not ready on time and my fries are a little bit oversalted, I don't expect the CEO company be on it. So I guess we're kind of spoiled as Tesla owners, but maybe Elon has, you know, other things to do than diving into the customer service. Though I am glad he is realizing that it is top priority. We'll see if things change for my sake and everybody else's, and Elon's too, I guess. But let's move on to another news. Before that, of course, I want to remind you guys that this show and this channel is sponsored by Evernex, the aftermarket accessories for Tesla, and they don't have a problem with customer service. They're actually pretty good at it. Take my word for it. I'm a customer myself. There's a discount code in the description of this video, so go ahead and use it so you can save yourselves a buck or two while receiving great customer service from them. All right, now, as you know, Tesla semi-truck has been around for a while. It's got pretty cool design. But there's another company called Nikola Motors, and they have their own truck, you know, that they've unveiled. It's a hydrogen fuel cell, but let's talk about that. The funny thing, or a sad thing really, is that they are suing Tesla for the patent infringement or copyright design of their trucks. And usually those claims, you know, the patent infringement means that they don't want to be confused with another brand, and that's why people sue each other. But it is kind of weird because, well, first of all, if you want to be confused with if you're going to be confused with another brand in the same industry, I think Tesla is not a bad brand to be. As a matter of fact, it might be a benefit to you. But secondly, you know, if you don't want to be confused with another brand, you probably shouldn't name yourselves after the same guy. Yeah, Nikola Motors, and the only way you can make it actually more confusing and be more confused with Tesla trucks, if you would name your Nikola truck Nikola Elon 420. This is the only way you can do that. But there is good news because essentially this week, Tesla got their patents approved, so which means that their designs have been deemed unique, and which means that Nikola Motors is probably going to have a really hard time actually winning this lawsuit. Hopefully, they'll drop it and actually concentrate on figuring out how to make their trucks run on batteries rather than hydrogen fuel cells. But that's just my positive thinking, I guess. Let's move on to another brand, Volkswagen, which I have a love and hate relationship with. And their CEO Herbert Diess was talking to a reporter, I think it was Bloomberg reporter, and I think it was maybe in the newsletter. Anyway, he released this very interesting statement saying that, well, I'm just going to read it out to you. The burden for our company, such as the cost of bringing to market electric cars, will be higher than expected. This is particularly so since some of our competitors have been making more progress. Now, that's a very interesting statement because, if you weren't busy rigging your diesel cars to be more environmentally friendly, you might have had more time to actually be up to par with the competitors that are kind of made the headways with you guys. But on another hand, I have to say that Dieselgate aside, right? Volkswagen had been actually doing a lot of great stuff as far as electric cars concerned. They have their own ID brand going on. They have a few models coming up for that, which very few companies have. They also have Audi and Porsche brands that are under the Volkswagen Group umbrella. They're, as you know, making their own pretty cool cars. And so, yeah, I'm not really sure. They've committed, I think, over $20 billion for this project, which is a significant amount of money. Think about all the startups, like Byton and Fairdive Future and so forth. They only have $2-3 billion at most to play with. So this should be enough money for an established manufacturer to not feel like this, but yet they do. Well, catch up. Here's another news about another manufacturer. Well, PSA Group, as you know, they're a French manufacturer that is in charge of Peugeot, Citroen, and a few other brands. One of those brands, probably less known here in the United States, is DS Automotive. And they are unveiling this DS3, let's see, what's the name? Crossback. Everyone's going to have a cross in it. All right, fine. But now this is going to have a gas version, but also an all-electric version. It's going to have a 50 kilowatt-hour battery, about 186-mile range, which is nothing to brag about, but decent enough. And by the way, check out this picture. I mean, can this get any more French? I mean, I can literally smell the chocolate croissants by just looking at the picture. Very French. But nevertheless, so this... another player in the house, which is of course great. They definitely have money and ambition. They've been trying to electrify their fleet for now about 2 years. I mean, making plans and investing money, and so this is one of their babies. So welcome. I'm not sure about this company's making the gas and electric version, though I've been praising Kona and Niro. But I just want to make sure they're not doing it for the lazy kind of efforts, right? If I'm a company that's making pancakes and I want to make donuts, so you go like, oh, we make the round things. You just let's punch the hole in it and we're done, right? I hope there's more thought that goes into it just because they're already making the body for this car. Hopefully. Now, I've mentioned Audi, and Audi e-tron is going to be unveiled on Monday in San Francisco. I will be there to cover it for you. This is their preview that they gave us yesterday. Today they released another teaser, but as you can see, this teaser is really concentrating on, first of all, 2001 fonts, but also the camera mirrors, which are definitely not going to be in production, especially right now, because almost no country has that allowed as far as regulations are concerned. But nevertheless, it is a cool feature. Just a little weird that that's the feature they released. They have quite a few things to be proud of, so I'm a little, it's a little weird that they decided to go with this one. Now, as you know, I was on another event this Tuesday, and I was actually checking out the new iNext concept from BMW. This is the Photoshop preview from their preview, and I put a still on it and just kind of Photoshopped it for you, so you can kind of see what it's going to look like. I've seen this in person, and my video is going to be coming out this Saturday, or maybe Sunday at the latest, with all the footage. You guys will see the car and everything. It will be BMW B-roll, so it's definitely going to be nice. So stay tuned for that. If you haven't subscribed for this channel, well, this is definitely the best time to do so, and it's free. All right, before we get to the really cool comment of the day, let me just thank my new Patreon, Laszlo Pap. Thank you so much for becoming a Patreon. And if you guys want to be part of this community, be able to watch this live, contribute to the show, and get all the perks, well, patreon.com/E4Electric, and boom, you're part of the club. Okay, let's move on to the comment of the day. And this comment of the day is very interesting. And this one is about this, NIO, a Chinese-based company, went public yesterday on an American market, which is really one of the kind, and also, makes it pretty serious as far as the intentions of Chinese manufacturers, including NIO, obviously, to cross the ocean and become relevant and here and produce cars and compete with everybody else. Now, the comment was very interesting. So this comment came from Fernando Rodriguez, and he started, "So I do have something to say to you, and this is," and I was like, oh my God. And then I was like, wait, what does it say? And it said, "Thank you." He said, "Thank you." All right. Interesting turnaround of the events, because usually these comments never end well for me. All right. He says, "Your news about NIO going public made me a ton of money when the market opened this morning." He just says that he bought it and makes some extra money. And he basically says, "I wanted to say thank you for having told us about it. I will keep my shares because I see a good future with NIO. Thanks, man." All right, man. Well, I'm glad to help. I'm obviously never advise people on anything that's going on in the market. One, I don't know it. Secondly, I really think it's a crapshoot. But yeah, investing in something that we all know is the future, does sound reasonable. I'm glad you made some money, and I can't wait for a wonderful, luxurious gift you're going to send to my door any day now, right? Anyway, listen. Thanks for mentioning that. And yeah, this is a big deal. I really think that Chinese manufacturers are going to make a difference. They do have some great advantages, and China overall has been one of the most electric car friendly countries out there. So, all right, for those of you who are watching me on Patreon, well, I'm going to stay around and talk to you guys a little bit live. For those of you who are watching me on YouTube, well, become Patreons if you'd like. If not, that's cool too. Just subscribe to the channel, but I will see you tomorrow, of course. So remember to stay charged.